I'm Laura from Garden Sanity, and today's video is all about rabbit repellents. If you're here, no doubt you've got a rabbit problem like I do. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the rabbit repellents I'm currently using, currently being in quotes. I'll explain the importance of scent for rabbits in repellents, what they smell, as well as what they taste. I'll discuss the difference between sprays and granules and what you need to know with that. And then I'm also going to give you some additional options that you can try as well. All of the products that I mentioned are going to be in the description area below, so you can look them up on your own. And let's get started. First, let's quickly go over interesting methods some gardeners use to repel rabbits, with varying degrees of success, of course. Soap, cutting it up and placing it around plants. Pepper powder or pepper flakes sprinkled around plants. Using pet hair or human hair, placing those near the base of plants. Mothballs, never a good idea. Mothballs was an old school way that people used to repel all kinds of rodents, but the chemicals in it leach into the soil, gets into our water supply. It's never a good idea to use them, and in fact it's illegal in many states now. If you have a pet in the yard, that's obviously a good rabbit repellent. And the most bizarre that I've ever heard of, used cat litter. No, I haven't tried it, and no, I hope I don't ever have to. So the most important point to remember is that what works for some gardeners to repel rabbits may not work for others. So I'm going to tell you what I'm currently using, but that may or may not work for you as well, and that's what's so frustrating. It all depends upon the rabbits, and if they're hungry enough, they're going to eat just about anything. The second most important point to remember is that rabbits may get used to a scent over time. For example, one of the products I use has a very strong garlic scent to repel rabbits, but if the rabbits get used to that scent, then the product's ineffective. So what do? You use more than one scent, more than one repellent, to keep those pesky rabbits from getting a little too relaxed in the garden. And if they taste those repellents, that's even better. So there's two main types of rabbit repellents, sprays and granules. With sprays, you want to apply them early in the morning or evening. You want to avoid spraying in direct sunlight or the high heat of the day due to the possibility of plants burning. You don't want your leaves scorched. With sprays, I'm unsure how these will do in winter, as usually when the temperatures dip below freezing, sprays aren't effective, so definitely read the packaging. For me, granules work better in winter because I don't have to worry if it's freezing, not freezing. I can just put them down either way. So I'm about to share the two repellents that are currently working for me. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one, but it's not going to be so much pros and cons because that's pretty basic, right? Pro, it works. It's repelling rabbits, which these are, otherwise I wouldn't be using them. And cons, it doesn't work. It doesn't repel rabbits. Currently I'm alternating between two, one spray and one granular. The first product that I'm going to talk about is repels-all. It's a granular product. There's two versions, repels-all animal repellent and repels-all deer and rabbit repellent, and I've used both. Both are made with cloves and garlic, which can cause mild irritation to the rabbit's nasal passages. It triggers a natural instinct for them to escape and avoid the scent or the taste. It doesn't harm them, but instead it drives them away. Repels-all is effective year-round, even in winter. The granules are biodegradable, which is always good. And make sure to follow the package directions. Read all of the info. With the repels-all granules, for example, it mentions watering the granules if no rain is coming soon. I gather that the rain or water activates the granules a bit. The spray that I use is called I Must Garden Rabbit Repellent. It's made with garlic and botanical oils of plants that rabbits naturally avoid, including peppermint, rosemary, lemongrass, and thyme. It smells really good, but not to rabbits. Like the repels-all, it causes mild irritation to an animal's nasal passages, and it triggers their natural instinct to escape and avoid the scent or the taste. I Must Garden doesn't harm the animal, but it drives them away. It's rain resistant, but again, follow the package directions. For the spray, for example, the plants should be dry before the spray hits the plants so that the product will adhere well. So Liquid Fence Deer and Rabbit Repellent is an example of a really good repellent that just no longer works for me. I used it for years with great success. I used the spray version, but starting 2 years ago, rabbits still ate the flowers and the plants. I didn't like how often I had to spray just to try to help keep them from attacking all the plants. Plus, in the heat of the summer, It caused a lot of leaf scorch if the spray happened to get on the plants. And it happens. You may very well have a different outcome, and I hope you do. We want these rabbits gone, right? Chicken grit is normally fed to chickens to help them break up their food as they have no teeth. Gardeners use chicken grit to protect bulbs from digging animals, as the grit has sharp edges which squirrels, chipmunks, and rabbits apparently don't like to feel on their paws. I use it for bulb protection, so I thought, if I'm using it for bulb protection, why not try it around my plants in general, especially in places where the mulch is lacking these days. So that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see how that works. Here's some additional repellent options. These have been recommended by other gardeners, and they'll be next on my list if my current repellents stop working. Plant Skid Organic Animal Repellent comes in sprays and granules. EnviroPro Rabbit Scram is a granular repellent. Nature's Mace Rabbit Mace comes in sprays and granules. So one final point that I want to make, and that's in addition to using the rabbit repellents that I mentioned, I'm also using other things such as tree protectors and chicken wire cloches, which I covered in 2 videos you can watch at the end of this one. Now, leave me a comment below. I want to know what your current go-to rabbit repellent is, and also check out the description area below. That's where I'll have links to all the products I mentioned. Until next time, happy gardening.